Hello YouTube, and welcome to the first digital photography guide video. What camera is right for you? Now the first question, I've got a list to read from, so if I keep looking over there, that's what it's about. The first question the first thing you should know is the advantages of an SLR camera, digital SLR camera. Well, SLR stands for single lens reflex, and it means that there is one lens as opposed to some point and shoot cameras that actually have two lenses, a small one above a preview sensor that you're seeing on the big screen on the back, and then an actual lens guiding everything to the sensor that will take the picture. And when you click the button, it'll switch last minute to the second lens and take the picture for the camera, and then and actually store that to the memory. That has disadvantages because it's not a what you see is what you get basis. The viewfinders on those cameras are also not going through the lens, where this actually has a viewfinder. These have real what you see is what you get viewfinders. You cannot use the LCD screen to shoot. You have to look through the actual lens, which the light goes into the lens through a mirror up and out of the viewfinder. This has great advantages. And for people who think, I don't want to spend all my life looking through a little hole, it's much bigger and easier to see through these viewfinders than your standard point and shoot. They have larger sensors. What that means for you is less image noise, less grain, much like this video has. Like if you look on this right here, it's got little fuzzy things flying around all over it. That's film grain or sensor grain, which means the sensor sensitivity is picking up all the flying photons in the air, and it's not encoding them correctly. A bigger sensor means less image noise, crisper, cleaner images. They're faster. This camera is currently powered off. I will turn it on and take a picture as fast as I can. Not bad. Right when I finished the word can was when I turned it on. I'll turn it off again. I'll go off. I'll switch in the back. Now, ready and on. Take a picture. Bam. That was easy. Also, there's no shutter lag. Like, watch. I don't know if you'll be able to see my finger, but bam, picture, bam, picture. Not bam, loading, click, blah blah blah. And also burst modes. Listen, I just took 6 pictures. That's very useful for sports and action photography. So they're faster. Oh, and you can change out your lenses. You don't have to use this one. This one is just a little zoom lens, about your average 28 to 70 millimeter zoom lens. This lens doesn't zoom in and out, but it has much crisper image quality and better low light features. This is a 50 millimeter 1.8, different lens. Other lens that I was using, this lens. It has a lens hood on it to protect stray light from coming on the sides. So the big advantages of an SLR: faster, no boot up times, burst modes, there's a viewfinder, a real viewfinder, what you see is what you get viewfinder, exchangeable lenses, and they're expandable. I'll show you my film SLR. You can get flash accessories on a hot shoe flash. Here's the film SLR, and this is the flash. It comes off, detaches, and you can reattach another flash. Bam bam, they tend to work better than built-in flashes. Although SLR does have a built-in flash. It's there, bam, pops up. Pretty cool. Now you need to ask yourself, do I need a digital SLR? Well, what are you shooting? First of all, if you're just going, hanging out with your friends, a point and shoot will be fine. If you are the kind of person who wants to set up a shot beautifully, you want to focus or even autofocus, SLR's good. They autofocus faster too. Then, if you want to actually take control of your photographs, you want an SLR. Are you going to enlarge your photos? If you are, you're going to want higher megapixels. If you're not, megapixels are a myth. If you're just going to be viewing them on the screen or printing, maybe 8x10s or smaller, 8x10 is actually about closer to that big. It's pretty big. You don't need any more than 6 or 7 megapixels. Anything past that is just bragging, or for big enlargements. You can get the standard entry-level SLR with 10 or 12 megapixels. But my camera, 8 megapixels, you can get them down to 6, whatever fits your budget. Ignore the brand name. A lot of people will tell you Canon and Nikon are the best. I shoot Canon. I don't care what, if I shoot Canon or Nikon or whatever, or Olympus or Sony or Pentax, they're all good companies. There's no best. Don't let people tell you what they think is the greatest. I so misused the quotes. What they think is the best doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. What's best is what works for you, what has your feature set, what fits in your budget, what are you comfortable holding in your hand. So when you shop for a camera, hold them in your hand. Say, all right, could I see myself shooting with this every day? Is it heavy? Does it feel good? Is the grip good? Does it have lenses that I can afford that have all the features I need? How's the autofocus system? How big is the viewfinder? How clear is the view, etc., etc., etc. Whatever fits your needs best. All cameras have strengths and weaknesses. Sorry if the video just jumped. I had to do something. The next question is it fast enough? This one has 5 frames per second. It's a fast camera. Some go down to 2 frames a second. Some jump up to 8. It's amazing. And the professional ones that will cost you $7,000 or $8,000, you can get up to 11 frames per second, which just sounds like a machine gun of a shutter. The next thing is, what accessories does it have? Not just in lenses, but some have battery grips. With this huge battery will be on the side, and you can hold it in portrait view, and there'll be another shutter button. Some have different flashes, different flash accessories, different filters, or that's mostly lens thread. Filters are also important. I'll discuss them later. This is a polarizing filter. It can control your glare on not on the lens, but on images that you're looking at or taking pictures of. Pretty interesting. What memory does it use? This camera uses compact flash, big card. I don't know why they call it compact. A lot of people don't like these because they're pretty big. The mainstream is moving to SD cards, which is much smaller, as you can see. I don't think paper thin compared to like about 2 SD cards thin. Big difference in size. I don't even use SD. I don't know why I have one, but yeah. So, just whatever you like. If you already have an SD card or 2, you may want to look at a camera that uses them. Compact flash, completely good for my needs. And now just a quick little rundown of what you do need. A camera, one that fits your needs, one that's comfortable for you, one that's got everything that you need out of it. A lens or 2. This lens, not very versatile, but it'll take good photographs in its element. A zoom lens is a great way to start, and it'll also help you pick out lenses you need in the future. This one's 28 to 70 millimeters. Lower numbers means wider angle, i.e. for people who don't, do angles, zoomed out more, and it goes 28 to 70, which is zoomed in more. So it's about a 2.5 times zoom. 28 is closer to 30, about 2 times zoom. 28 goes into 70, about 2.2 times or so. So 2.2 times zoom, no zoom. Start off with a zoom. If you find yourself at 28 all the time, you probably want to buy a wider angle lens next, because then you're going to go down to like 18 millimeters or 10 millimeters, whatever you can afford to go down to. But if you find yourself at 70 all the time, you'll say, wow, I'm always zoomed in. I guess I should get a lens that zooms in even more. Just use lenses. Get a fairly versatile lens as your first lens, and use it to tell you what lenses you need in the future. There's also features like aperture and the autofocus system, image stabilization, things like that. I'll talk about that in another video. This is the basics. Most cameras will offer what's called a kit lens, a very cheap quality lens, but it's a great way to start. I started with the kit lens. I don't have one to show you, but they're good lenses. They're mediocre, but they're great for beginners. The memory I touched on. Filters, already touched on. Tripod, most useful thing ever. Nighttime pictures wouldn't be possible without it. I hate using my built-in flash. I hate using flash unless, if I had more control of a hot shoe flash, I could point it and bounce it off of ceilings and stuff and get better lighting. Since I don't, this is what I use. It's so helpful. It will let you use slower shutter speeds and reduce your blur, narrow apertures, etc. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to post